Welcome into Duval Daily, presented by GenJag.com. I'm Jordan Lugo. Thanks so much for tuning in here on Friday, May 3rd. Look, we've done deep dives into Brian Thomas Jr., talked about whether or not he's going to be the Jaguars wide receiver 1 in 2024. Mason Smith, can he make an impact for the Jaguars as a second-round pick during his rookie year? But right now it's time to look at the Jaguars' third-round pick, 96 overall, cornerback Jarrian Jones out of Florida State. Going to dive into the tape, the athleticism, the fit with the Jaguars, all the good stuff. And we're going to answer the question, can Jarrian Jones start in 2024? So, really appreciate y'all tuning in. If you enjoy the content, please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. You can also check out genjag.com/shop, pick up some new Duval gear. You can become a channel member right here on YouTube. Thank y'all so much for being here. Jarrian Jones, he turns 23 next week, so happy early birthday. Birthday is May 8th, next Wednesday, I believe, yeah. So a little bit older prospect, going to be 23 years old, but it's not like he's 24, 25-year-old rookie out there who is just way older than the rest of the class, right? He's still within a reasonable range age-wise. He played at Mississippi State during his freshman year and then transferred to Florida State for the rest of his career, was a 4-star recruit in 2019, so a fairly highly recruited prospect coming out of high school. He's 6 feet tall, 190 pounds, 30-inch arms, 4.38 40-yard dash, 39.5-inch vert, 129-inch broad jump. Those numbers are very impressive. He's got good height, super fast, super explosive. 190 pounds is pretty average. And then you talk about his length, 30-inch arms, not very long arms. A lot of times 30 inches is really kind of the threshold that teams look at for outside corners. You need to be at least 30 inches. He's got that. Not by much, but he does have that. Was primarily an outside cornerback before the 2023 season when he ran the slot for Florida State in an excellent defense, maybe one of the best defenses in college football. In fact, definitely one of the best defenses in college football, maybe the best. In 2022, when he was on the outside, he allowed a completion percentage of just 45.8 in primary coverage, only allowed 11 catches all year, 3 pass breakups, 1 interception, 2 penalties. Not bad at all. 22 tackles, 4 stops. So he did a good job outside for Florida State. From a statistical perspective, I think when you watch him as well, you see a guy that can definitely hang outside. In 2023, moved inside primarily, as I mentioned, as a slot player. A ton of man coverage, 16 total catches allowed on 32 targets, 3 interceptions, 3 pass breakups, 21 tackles, 12 stops, and a forced fumble. So this is a guy that statistically over the last couple of years, he's been fantastic for the Florida State Seminoles, and he's been part of really good defenses, really talented defenses. A lot of guys playing in the NFL from that side of the ball for Florida State. You cut to the tape. 2 things immediately pop. He is extremely aggressive, which you love. Absolutely love the way he plays the game. He's aggressive, he's feisty, he's physical. He wants to get up in your face, whether he's covering you, whether he's trying to fight through your blocking attempt, whether he's trying to tackle you. He's aggressive. And then he can absolutely fly. 4.38 40-yard dash, that's no joke. He plays like that on the football field. He's pretty sticky in coverage. He's physical without getting called for pass interference. He has quick feet. Hips are fairly fluid. Like, he's not the smoothest athlete on the planet, but he's pretty good in that capacity, in my opinion. Then you see the speed. It's hard to get away from him. When he does have a false step, even then, his makeup speed is so impressive. He can get back on you in a flash. He almost always denies a throwing window, which you see like he's only been targeted in primary coverage like 50 times over the last 2 seasons. He makes the quarterback move on from the read that he's on, almost always. Almost always denies the read. It's tough living in the slot, and he did that, like I said, in 2023. I know a lot of folks kind of ding players if they can't play outside, and I don't think that's the case at all for Jarrian Jones. But slot is difficult. Like, it is really hard to play in the slot. You have 2-way goes, you have leverage manipulation, all of your movements are magnified. It's hard to live out there in the slot. So I think the fact that he did that in 2023 and did it at an extremely high level after being primarily an outside cornerback is really impressive. On the screens, the outside runs, he's aggressive. He fights through blocks, he comes downhill, and he hits. Now, at 190 pounds, there are going to be some times where he's out of his weight class against, a big tight end or a big receiver or even a running back, right? And he'll miss a tackle coming downhill, but he's going to be aggressive. And there's also going to be times where he absolutely rocks guys that are in his weight range. 180 to 200 pounds, you're probably not getting away from him. And that's going to be a lot of the guys he sees in the NFL outside and in the slot. He's a good blitzer. Didn't really get asked to do that until 2023 when he was playing in the slot. But his speed and aggressiveness helps in that regard. And when he gets to the quarterback feels it big time. He's laid out a couple quarterbacks during the 2023 season. So you have a great athlete, plays hard, plays aggressive, denies throwing windows, is sticky. But even when he does have a little bit of a false step, has the makeup speed. He wants to get his nose dirty, wants to be physical. There's certainly inside-outside versatility. I've never really seen his length be an issue before. So for me, there's just not a lot of major question marks other than the fact that, no, he doesn't have elite length and he does not have elite size and strength. He doesn't. Those are his limitations. So can he start for the Jacksonville Jaguars in 2024? Can he? Yes, he can. I think he could start at nickel from day one in the NFL. I think he could comfortably be your third or fourth outside cornerback as well. Now, the question really is, will he start from day one? It doesn't feel that way to me, even though I think he has the ability to do that. Darnell Savage, it seems, has the inside track at nickel. They're paying Darnell Savage to start in 2023. So I would imagine that Savage is your starting nickel. They've already kind of mentioned that Antonio Johnson is more of the Rayshon Jenkins replacement. So I think that you have Savage in the nickel as a veteran, right, that you brought in. And then you also have Johnson at safety. You have Cisco, who's obviously going to be starting at safety. I just don't really think the Jaguars brought him in thinking, oh, yeah, he's our day one starter at nickel. Because, again, if they were going to start Darnell Savage at safety, that'd be one thing. But then you're taking Antonio Johnson off the field. And quite frankly, Darnell Savage and Andre Cisco are both free safety types. They're not really strong safety type guys in the NFL. And Darnell Savage, you look at his contract, 2024 and 2025 is really what he's under contract for. I think you can move on after the 2025 season, but I think he's going to be the starter until he proves that he shouldn't be, or until Jarrian Jones proves you just can't have him off the field. But yeah, I expect Darnell Savage to be the day one starter. And then outside, I don't think Jarrian Jones is starting over Ronald Darby from day one or anything like that. But I think he's going to be good inside depth. I think he's going to be good outside depth as well. And a fun little tidbit I'll leave y'all with, you can look at Mock Draftable to look at some of the athletic comps for this prospect and for, pretty much every prospect who goes out and tests. The number one athletic comp for Jarrian Jones is Marshawn Lattimore, which is a guy that Ryan Nielsen has had a lot of success with as a coach. The Saints have had a lot of success with. And a player that a lot of Jaguars fans, a lot of people that talk about the Jaguars, maybe they could target him in a potential trade. The Saints have done a lot to improve their cornerback position over the last couple years. They are always kind of in a cap situation over there in New Orleans. Maybe the Jaguars go pursue Marshawn Lattimore. We'll see how that plays out. But some other close comps that are also interesting: Trent McDuffie, Denzel Ward, Greg Newsome, all very good players. But then also Renardo Green, Jarrian Jones' teammate at Florida State for the last few years. And then Ronald Darby, his current teammate, the current starter for the Jaguars opposite Tyson Campbell. So definitely some interesting athletic comps there. Would love to know what you guys think about Jarrian Jones, his fit with the Jaguars. You can drop a comment in the comment section below. If you enjoy the content, please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. You can also check out jinjag.com/shop, pick up some new Duval gear. You can become a channel member right here on YouTube, access some perks. All the links in the description below. Y'all have a good one.